Right now, those looking to avoid congestion on 195 West can avoid the highways by taking the high seas.
Yeah, first ferries from Bristol to Providence. They are on the water already. The first one left at 6 a.m. this morning from Bristol. It's already on its way back to Bristol after dropping a few folks off in Providence. Joe Cortese was on the ferry from Bristol to Providence. He didn't get off. Now he's heading back to Bristol right now. Joe, how many people are on these ferries so far?
So we had roughly about, I would say, 10 people from Bristol to Providence. On the way back, we haven't seen many people hop on this ferry ride all the way back to Providence, but I mean, they're moving pretty quickly. We showed you earlier. Take a look at the water right now. They're moving real quick along the bay right now, but you know, they kicked off at 7 o'clock or 6 a.m. I should say, and they finish up until 7 o'clock every night. It's going to be going daily. Now, a couple things you're going to want to know is it's free of charge. Each ferry can accommodate roughly 500 people per trip. If you're coming from Bristol, there's a parking lot at Cold State Park. RIPTA shuttles will bring you over to State Street Dock on Thames Street, and the ferry will dock off of the India Street. Riders can hop on, and as you can tell, there's not many people out here right now, but we had a little bit of coverage earlier. We had some airline coverage actually looking from the skies. You guys could see us coming in, but if you are coming from Providence, there is free parking at the ferry terminal. And here's that video right now. I mean, you could tell it was cooking. We were driving right through. You don't want to be outside, folks. Let me tell you that. It's really chilly out here, but if we did research and look into this, and we were reaching out to RIDOP, the Boston Globe reports that the operation in full, if it runs until March, which it plans to, it's going to cost around $5 million, and that doesn't include the fuel cost. But RIDOP plans to step the ferry service to step down the ferry service based off the demand, and that will inevitably lower the cost. And earlier, we caught up with a few folks who took the first ride out of Bristol.
I usually drive in pretty early anyhow, so for me it's mostly been an inconvenience. But I've been wanting to get back into using public transportation, so this is just really a good motivation for me to start changing my habits to get back on the bus.
And change of habits, that seems to be, you know, the theme of the last couple of weeks that we've been going through with RIDOT and the 195 bridge closure. A lot we can look forward to. Actually, the best part is, too, we got a crew working here. They got food and snacks and everything you're going to need. So we'll send it back to you guys in the studio. For now, reporting live on the ferry, heading back to Bristol, Joe Cortese, 12 News.
Coverage continues of the bridge breakdown and the result of all that traffic backing up on the highway 195 east and westbound in the city. So if you're headed that way, there's another option for you this morning.
Yeah, we've been talking about this, and finally it starts today. The ferry service connecting Bristol and Providence made its maiden voyage this morning. It's going back and forth now. We're watching it on our camera, actually speeding down right now, and Joe Cortese is live on it still. Joe, how are things this half hour aboard?
Well, as I told you in the last half hour, stay inside. It's a little chilly out here, but things are going well. We've had a smooth commute. We went from Bristol to Providence, then back to Bristol starting at 6 a.m. Now, these ferries are going to run from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily. And we have a few things that you're going to want to know. It's free of charge. It's going to be free of charge to get on these ferries. It's courtesy of RIDOT working with the three separate ferry services. Now, if you're coming in, the Boston Globe has reported that this operation in full, if it runs until March, which they say that they're planning on running it until the end of March, that it will cost the state around $5 million. That does not include the fuel costs. RIDOT plans to step down the ferry services based on demand, which will inevitably lower the cost. Now, we've talked to a few people around here, a lot of them looking to make this more of a permanent solution for when it comes to, you know, public transportation, but the ride's been smooth. The water out here isn't so choppy. We just left Bristol. We're about to get moving over to Providence for the next ferry, but we've been speaking with a lot of people, and they've been sharing their thoughts with us this morning.
We'd love to see a permanent option in Rhode Island for ferry between Newport, Bristol, and Providence. So I would like for it to last, but you know, people's habits with their transportation options are pretty rigid. So let's see what happens.
And here we got a look at the back of the ferry heading out. Beautiful sight in Bristol, and we just got going. We're about to pick up the speed here, but Bristol, it has been real. Thank you very much. Great accommodations, but we're heading back to Providence and smooth sailing from here on out. Now the ferry services, again, are going to run from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. daily, free of charge, and we'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, so Joe, we want to know about the parking situation because obviously you can't bring your car on that type of ferry. So you can park at Colt State Park. Can you also park right at where the ferry takes off in Bristol?
So no, you cannot park right near where the ferry takes off in Bristol. They're trying to alleviate all the parking situation around there. We saw a few folks who had some street parking, but a lot of it is they're asking people to park at Colt State Park. They will shuttle you over and get you on the ferry in time. They're coming every 30 minutes, so there's plenty of opportunity to travel over to Providence. For now, reporting live on the ferry heading to Providence, Joe Cortese, 12 News.